Hey everyone, welcome to this yoga class. We're gonna start with sitting onto our child pose, pelvis to heels, just breathing here and relaxing. Deep breath through the nose and exhale through the nose as well. Slowly start rising up and taking your hands towards the right side. The fingers should be spider fingers, so your shoulders get a nice stretch, and come back towards center. And let's switch it up, going onto the left with your left hand, right hand is following, and we're relieving the head down in between the shoulders. Take a deep inhale, come back to center. Let your forehead be on the mat, and slowly start sliding your palms forward into a puppy pose. Make sure that your hips are directly above your knees and the back of your feet are down to the ground. Palms are rooted and elbows above the ground. Open your chest and breathe deeply into this nice stretch into your shoulder blades. One more deep inhale. Then slowly we're gonna rise up towards forest stand, bringing each finger to have its own space, opening the chest towards a cow and pulling the navel in to round the back to a cat. Let's do it twice more. Inhale and open the chest in between the shoulders, navel down, sitting bones up, and exhale with a breath towards a cat. One more time, bring the chin forward, inhale and exhale round, and bring yourself into neutral. Bring the right hand into the middle, take the left hand up and thread a needle towards the right side. We're gonna bend the right hand and bring the forehead down to the mat, the left forehead. Just gaze up and enjoy this nice rotation. Bring yourself back towards forest stand, and let's do the other arm. Left arm goes in, right arm up, and thread a needle towards the left side. Bring your left hand to 90 degrees to support you, and bring the gaze up and breathe in towards that rotation. Bring the back of the feet down to the mat. Don't forget to press them down as much as you can. And on the next inhale, come back towards center. Take a deep inhale, tuck your toes, and on the exhale, come into a child pose. Take your pelvis towards your heels and bring your forearms down and into a cow. Back again, and we're into that cat, bringing the pelvis into our heels and sliding ourselves back into the cow. One last time, reversing into a cat, into a child pose, and slowly bringing the forearms down and sliding towards a cow. Bring yourself into neutral, into a plank, and slide yourself into downward dog. Let's spice it up with a bit of walking the dog, bending one leg and extending the right heel towards the ground. Let's do a couple of more exchanges. And on the next time, we're gonna take the heels, both of them down, and start walking our legs, our feet in between our palms, in between the hands, shaking those legs, bringing the elbows, grabbing the elbows, and shaking the head side to side, bringing the chin in to make sure that you're relaxed. Let's bend the knees and straighten them for twice more, bending and straightening to releasing the tension into the hamstrings, the back of your thighs, and let the head and the entire spine drop down to the floor. Take a deep inhale, make sure that your hands are reaching the ground, bend if you need to, and bring the right hand down, left hand up, and bend the right leg. The left leg is extended, we're reaching with the gaze up and switching. Left leg bended, left hand coming down to the ground, and right hand coming up with the gaze. Inhaling here, Stay with that stretch and come back towards center. Let's go all the way up, rolling our spine to standing Tadasana, coming with our hands to our prayer hands. And we're coming with the hands and the feet to the star, to the front of our mat. Inhaling, hands coming up, exhaling all the way down towards Uttanasana, forward fold. Taking a deep inhale, we're going to slowly take the weight towards the toes, bring the heel up, and exchange. Toes are coming up, heels are coming up, and slowly, inch by inch, toes are coming up. One last time. Heels are up, and slowly reaching with the weight towards the toes coming up. Slowly we're going to lift the heels back up and let the weight stay while we're lowering down the heels, bending our knees, placing the hands on, sliding the hands onto our shins, opening the chest and bringing the hands towards the sides of the pelvis. Bending and stretching those legs back again without having our spine changing. The spine is completely aligned, the navel is in, and hands to the side. We're doing it 3 more times without the movement of the legs. And one last time. And we're going to take a deep inhale, coming all the way down towards forward fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, and bring the left knee into a low lunge. Open up the gaze. Take the heel up and down to stretch a bit your calf muscles, and take the right leg back into a plank. Shift the knees down and go into a half push-up all the way down towards the mat. Shift yourself onto your mat and slowly come into a baby cobra, opening the chest, bringing the pubic bone down towards the mat. This time we're going to stay, bring our hands off the mat, stay with our back wherever it is, and back with the forehead to the mat. Make sure that your knees are not touching the ground. Up with the hands, down, and one last time. Big baby cobra, and we're going all the way to a push-up and bringing it to a child pose. We're into a child pose, rock side to side. Take a deep inhale, come back to center, tuck your toes, and into a downward dog, walking the dog back again, bending one leg, and then another, one more time. Both heels down to the ground, sitting bones are up, navel is in, one foot in between both of our feet. Walk or jump in between your palms into Uttanasana. Take a deep inhale. We're sliding the hands and coming into half Uttanasana, an L shape. Really reach with your hands down to the mat. Bend your legs if you need to, and bring yourself up with a micro bend. Hands coming up, gazing to your hands and towards your chest. Tadasana back again. We're gonna slowly come with the hands up, exhaling all the way down, diving to Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhaling, sliding the hands into a half forward fold, L shape. Bend your legs and try to reach with the right leg back into a low lunge. Open your chest. Try to bring the left leg to a plank. Knees are down. Slowly navel in, pushing the pelvis forward and coming all the way towards the ground. Baby cobra, we're starting with taking the inhaling, lifting the hands up, bringing the elbows really close to the rib cage. One last time. And we're slowly going to take the toes, tuck the toes, bring the navel up, and slowly halfway push up, plank, and into a downward dog. Bend if you need to walk the dog, and come into both heels to the ground. Elongate the spine. Try to work with the spine before you're extending the legs. If you need to be with the bended legs but elongated spine. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and gaze forward. you can either take one big step after another, or from that same downward dog, hop from lifting the heels, bending, gazing forward, and hopping in between your hands. Inhaling here, we're slowly sliding the hands towards half Uttanasana, exhaling into a forward fold, bending and coming all the way up towards Tadasana, bringing the hands to the center of the heart. We finish the first Surya Namaskara, coming with our hands onto the waistline, and we want to make sure that we're lifting the left knee in front of the hip. Try to lift and stretch the left leg. Try to stay really straight with the left leg, and coming with the left leg to the side, opening and extending the left leg and bending. Coming back again to the front, opening the left leg, really reaching with the, not letting the back going too far back, and left leg is opening, left leg is closing, and we're gonna slowly bring the left heel onto the groin or above or beyond the knee, not on the joint, and slowly into a tree pose. Bring the hands into the front of your chest, find your balance, root down, maybe opening up your hands to an oak tree. And we're coming slowly down as we did before. Waist, hands on the waist, coming with the leg down, maybe flex and point, do a few circles with your ankle, side to side, and exchange, coming with the left leg back again to extend, and the left leg to the side, stretching the left leg, and coming into that goddess pose, opening the legs, toes to the side, just 90 degrees and extending, 90 degrees and extending, and we're staying into that 90 degrees. We're sliding slowly towards the left and the right, trying to reach into a bit more, mobilizing our hips, and slowly staying into the center. We're gonna slowly slide our hands onto our knees, and we're coming with the right shoulder in, gazing up, making sure that we are giving ourselves a nice rotation to the back while we're extending. Coming to center, left shoulder comes in, gaze is coming up, and coming to center, we're rising up and into a forward fold. You can keep your toes pointed to the sides or parallel your feet, and you can open up a bit if you feel more comfortable, your spread, bringing the hands into the line of between both arches of the foot. We want to make sure that our elbows are 90 degrees and that the head is completely relaxed and released with your entire shoulders relaxed. Roll all the way up and into back again, goddess pose. We're coming back to sliding side to side, but this time we're adding a bit of challenge into lowering down the much as you can. The hands could be maybe onto your chest, or you can put them down on the ground. Let's stay on the right side, bringing the right heel down if you can, and the left leg is flexed. We're coming all the way down to the mat and bringing the right knee towards us. We're gonna slowly grab with our left hand the right ankle, and we're gonna take a nice rotation to the side. Right hand comes up and over. If possible, we're grabbing the left toes. If not, we're just gonna stay there and come into a bend when our right heel is to the side of our pelvis. Take a deep inhale, flex the left leg, and try to support yourself from the left side if you need it. Forward fold, take a deep breath, lengthen up. With every exhale, try to lengthen your body even more, creating space, and inhale, coming up to a straight line. We're going to take the right leg into an extension, and we're going to point both legs, coming with our hands to support us, taking the right leg up, extended, and the left. Let's do it one more time. Right up and left up. Taking a deep inhale, hands coming up, and we're going into a forward fold. As well here, we're keeping the C line, we're keeping our hands and our spine really active, and then we're slowly releasing, trying to reach with our back of the knees down to the mat, activating the whole front of your hips. Breathe here, maybe relaxing a bit, shaking the legs, bringing the right heel onto the left toes, and doing a bit more stretches here, which is gonna forward fold onto our right leg, trying to keep the right and the left knees very extended, and bringing the right leg up. So we're keeping the spine as much aligned and straight as you can, and keeping the right leg aligned as well. Try to stretch in that compression, and take a deep inhale, bend the right leg in towards you, and come into a nice Marichyasana pose. We're coming forward, and if possible, we're binding with the right hand, and we're binding the entire right knee behind our back. That is not a must, of course, and we don't have to do it. We have a nice deep stretch without the bind as well. Take yourself a deep inhale, and we're coming back with the right leg to the side, wherever we started, bringing the hands together into a pistol, trying to raise ourselves up into that Skandasana pose, back again. Coming into a low lunge, both hands are trying to be into inner to our right leg. Take a deep inhale into that lizard pose. Bring your left knee down and tuck your toes. Try to bring forearms down and keeping the chest and the spine really open. If possible, bring the left knee up to a full variation. I prefer to stay up here because I feel it's too much for me, it's too deep. So choose your variation and stay there. Take a deep breath and slowly take both hands towards the side of the right leg and take the right hand up. Make sure that your left shoulder is a bit closer as much as you can to the right knee. Inhaling, the right leg is going down towards the mat to a pigeon pose, parallel as you can to the narrow side of the mat. Left leg far away from you as you can. Open up the chest and slowly lower down, maybe to a forearm, or completely down towards the ground with your elbows towards the side. Choose your variation. Take 3 breaths here into this nice, wonderful stretch. Come back up and slowly tuck under the left leg. Bring your left knee up and try to, as if you have a pin connecting your heel to your hip, pull it up by rounding the chest. Opening up the chest and rounding, taking it up. And on the last time, we're going to take the leg with us towards the downward dog. And we're going to stay into the downward dog for 2 breaths. One more breath, then we're slowly going to lift the heels and bring the knees to bend, gaze forward, and jump or walk towards the front of our hands. We're going to open up the chest into an L, half Uttanasana, bringing the hands down and slowly shifting ourselves into a full Uttanasana. Coming with that micro bend into our knees, and we're rising up towards Tadasana, all the way up. Hands coming to the heart center, breathe here, and slowly walk yourself into the other end of your mat, where your right leg now is coming up. We're doing the exact same as we did in the other side by opening up the right leg, bending it back towards us and towards the right side, rotating the leg, extending if possible, trying to stay stable into the center, and coming towards back to center. Extending, bending, and coming to the right side. Extending, and we're slowly gonna bend and come forward, extend, bend, coming to the side, and we're slowly opening towards a goddess pose. Into the goddess pose, we're gonna extend the legs and bend to 90. Twice more, extending, really engaging the glutes and the front of the thighs, and coming to that goddess pose, trying to be 90 degrees, knees above our heels, shifting a bit the weights. We're entering with the left shoulder in, gazing up, and inhale to center, pushing away the knees to the back, bringing the right shoulders in, and gazing up. Taking a deep inhale into center, we're extending the legs and bringing ourselves into that same forward fold. If you need to, open up your spread, bring your hands into the center of your heels, into the center of your imaginary line. Let go of your shoulders, bring the tension down. Let yourself breathe and extend the entire spine. On the next inhale, come all the way up. And we're gonna bend back into that goddess pose, extending and coming back towards what we missed, which is the tree pose. Coming with the right leg wherever it's comfortable for you. There are differences between the sides. One leg could be a bit less balancy or a bit weaker or stronger. Take a deep inhale to balance yourself above or beneath the knee, and open up towards an oak tree. Sometimes it's okay to fall or feeling like you're not stable. A trick is to find a balance point that you're staring at. Let's come back into that nice goddess pose, and we're switching as if we didn't skip that pose. We're switching side to side, trying to slowly coming down. This time use your hands if needed, or you can keep your hands onto the chest, and we're staying into the left side. Taking a deep inhale, scooping ourselves to the back, bringing the left knee closer to us, and we're gonna slowly find our sitting, both sitting position down to the mat. If you need support from the right, keep your hand to the right, flex your right foot, and come forward. So you're trying to be as much as you can extended with the spine, continuing with the entire back of the neck with you, bringing the chin in, maintaining a long, long spine. Inhaling all the way up, and we're gonna slowly bring the left leg to extend. Take a deep breath, and bringing the right leg up and the left leg up as we did before. I know it could cause a bit of cramps. It's totally fine. Just release the cramp and come back with us. And we're slowly gonna take a deep inhale, coming up with the hands, exhaling all the way towards front. We're not trying to grab the feet. I know I do it here, but try to focus on extending the spine, bringing the knees down, and not coming with the hands to the toes. That's not important. Taking another deep inhale to lengthen. And slowly we're gonna come up with our hands up, and slowly bringing the left heel on top of the right toes. Let's extend here for a forward fold, bringing the chin in. Always remind yourself to bring the chin in. And again, extend your spine as much as you can. Try to focus on extending when you're exhaling. Bring your left heel up with your hands. You can do whatever you feel right with your right leg as long as it's active. And on the exhale, start bending the left leg in towards you. And we're gonna go into Vinyasa, one leg bended position. And we're gonna slowly come forward. If we want to, as we did in the other side, we can bind here, or we can just stay in a forward fold. Whatever feels comfortable. We're taking a deep breath, trying to bring both sitting bones down to the mat. Slowly taking the left leg with you, coming up, and we're grabbing the left ankle, and with our right hand we're up and over towards the sky. And maybe we can bind as well here, coming back towards center. Pistol your hands and come back forward. Slowly transform into low lunge. Bring your hands into the inner of your left arch of the foot and bring the right knee down. Open up the chest. If possible, go into that lizard with your forehead down, with your forearm down. If not, keep yourself up onto your wrist and don't lift the right knee if you feel like this is too much for you. I always like to lift the right knee, but keeping my chest very high. Taking a deep inhale, both hands are to the side of the leg, right hand is close to the knee, to the left knee, and left hand coming up to a nice rotation. Come back towards low lunge. Bring yourself with your left leg parallel towards the front of your mat, right knee far away from you, and we're back again into the pigeon pose. Open up your chest, deep breath in, and exhale. Slowly start sinking with your forearms down, and maybe bringing the elbows to the side, bringing your forehead onto an imaginary pillow you created from your palms. Inhaling here, and on the next inhale we're coming with the hands up, tucking under the right leg, bringing the right knee up, and we're again with that pin that is connecting our left heel to our right hip. Bending, coming up, and on the last time we're gonna bend and come back towards downward dog. Into downward dog, we're staying and breathing, releasing the head, gazing in between our knees, bringing the toes a bit in and the heels a bit out. Sitting bones are up and the spine is elongated as much as you can. Take a deep inhale, lift the heels, bend those knees, and gaze in between the palms and hop into sitting. You can also transform and come into sitting in any other way. Bring your hands behind your back and just let your knees drop side to side. We're relaxing and releasing the hips after we worked really hard on their mobility. So it's really important to just do that and let your knees drop to wherever they feel right. And then slowly we're staying with the knees into the center, planting our feet down. And we're gonna go with our fingers towards the side of the mat. So we're facing the fingers outside of the mat and coming into a tabletop. We're rising to a nice tabletop if we feel like, and our knees, chest, and pelvis on the same line. We can bring the head to back. We're gonna do it one more time. Inhaling down and exhaling, pushing all the way up, trying to open up the chest, pushing the palms down, and maybe releasing the head. We're gonna do another variation for challenging. You don't have to do it, you can do another tabletop. Let's extend the legs, bringing the legs to be as much as you can extended, and we're gonna slowly come with the heels towards the ground, fingers towards the ground, and lifting the pelvis like this, going down, and we're gonna shift into forward fold to make sure that our spine is feeling good and we have a counterbalance pose. Coming with both legs to open up to a spread in the middle. And we want to do with our legs, if we aren't sitting on our sitting bones, bending the knees and bringing the heels down. If possible, we're going to go into a straight position with the legs and bringing ourselves forward as much as we can. It doesn't really matter as long as our legs are active, the feet are flexed, and we're rounding all the way back up. Taking a deep inhale, we're going to bring the right hand towards the side and the left hand up and over. We're trying to bring a stretch into our left side of the waistline and the hips. If you need to, bring the right hand onto your left hip to support you. Gaze up, open up the left shoulder blades. Inhaling to center, and right hand goes up and over when we're onto the left side. Do the same variation as you did before, and just try to elongate the back of the neck. Inhaling to center, and we're going to slowly come back into that pancake pose, still making sure that we're continuing with both flexed leg, both active front thighs. Inhaling here and coming all the way up. We're going to close our legs and we're going to slowly do the same movement as we did before with mobilizing our hips, but this time we're going to add that Z line and we're going to sit both sitting bones onto the ground. Coming to the center with our hands forward, both sitting bones onto the ground, both hips towards the ground, and forward. This time we're going to take ourselves up towards forward, pushing our pelvis forward and coming back down towards the other side. Without using our hands is better, but if you need the help of your hands, use it. Take it a bit back, and we're gonna close our legs and come into Navakonasana, the boat pose. We're gonna grab the legs from the back side of our thighs, bringing the elbows to open, point your toes, and we're gonna do 5 counts here. So slowly start with 4, breathing in and out, and 3. You might want to do a variation with extending those legs up, and 2, and 1 last one, bending the knees towards you, rounding all the way down to lying down on the floor. Rock your head, roll your head side to side, bring your knees as far as you can, close to your chest, shake them off, do whatever feels right for you to make your back feels good, your hip flexor in front of the hips, and bring the hands to the side, right knee over the left, and let's bring the knees towards us and to the left side. We just want to make sure that we're gazing to the right side while we're rotating the entire gaze. Inhaling and coming back on the next inhale to the center, unraveling our legs, coming with the left leg over the right, bending the knees towards you and gazing towards the other side. The more you plant your left shoulder down to the mat, the more you would feel that nice rotation. Take a deep inhale back to center, unravel your legs, and find your inversion. Keep your leg up if you feel like you don't know how to do an inversion or you haven't experienced how to do it. If you know your inversion into shoulder stand, go into shoulder stand. If not, just stay into nice legs up. Let's breathe into that inversion for 5 breaths. Last breath, and we're slowly bending the knees in towards our forehead, stretching the hands and interlace them behind our back, stretching the legs, and trying to roll with control back onto our hands, bringing the hands towards the side. The legs are just coming into the happy baby pose. Bend your legs into 90 degrees. Try to grab the feet from the external arches and rock side to side. If possible, bring the tailbone down and let your head really be heavy on the mat. We're rocking side to side for a few times. Do whatever feels comfortable for you here. And then slowly take a deep breath and come with your legs into a bended position. We're gonna just do one arch of bridge, two arches of bridge, and after we're gonna slowly go into a nice wheel pose. So come with your pelvis up all the way and slowly start taking the chest down, the middle back, the lower back, and the hips. If you don't know how to do a wheel or you've never done it, try to stay in a bridge pose. If you want to join the wheel, bring your hands, fingers to the side of your ears, elbows are pointing up, come onto the top of your head as first steps, and exhale into a full wheel if possible. Shift your heels a bit closer to you, take a deep breath, shift the weight a bit towards your chest, and slowly bring the chin in and slowly let yourself go down. Bring the knees together and heels to the side of the mat. Bring your hand onto your hips, if possible, one hand onto your chest. Just see how your spine feels here. We're breathing here, letting the lower spine relax, preparing to Shavasana. And slowly extend those legs. If you need to, take the lights off. If possible, bring something warm to wear and let your palms face up. Close your eyes. Let your ankles go to the side of your mat. And just drop the weight down. Deep inhale, release the breath, and let the breath be as natural as it can. Start going one body part and scanning the other body part. And make sure that you're relaxed and released. Make sure that your toes and fingers, palms, and feet are relaxed and released. The forearms, the shins, the back of the knee, and the inner part of your elbows are relaxed and released. Your hips, the pelvis is heavy. The navel, the chest, and the waistline. The entire spine is relaxed and released. The shoulder blades and the throat. The jaw is dropped down. The lips are soft and relaxed. The entire face is letting go of any facial expressions. The whole body is relaxed and released. shifting the toes and the fingers, bringing movement back to your body. Bring the ankles side to side, and maybe bring one knee after another towards your chest. Press the knees in towards your chest and let your hip flexor relaxed and released. Rock side to side onto your back and maybe drop onto one side. Let yourself a few more moments of relaxation. And when you feel ready, slowly come back towards center from the side, supporting yourself. Coming into a cross-legged position, bringing your hands into your heart center. Taking a deep last breath for today. Really being grateful for practicing together, for having this time for ourselves. Thank you for joining. Namaste.